Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Final Show Films. I am Sen, your executive producer. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Particularly want to thank our $25 tier supporters over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms. Those being Jerry Alexander, Samantha Bates, and Elle, without whom we don't want to do nearly as much of the things we do now. So thank you very much for your support over the years. And those of you watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Exandria Rising. I am Sen, your game master for the evening, and I'm joined by our very own resident mean girl, Jeremy.
I was about to protest, and then I realized I remembered who I'm playing. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fair.
Not only who you're playing,
I'm
but every other character, too.
The only character you play.
I play two different types of characters.
Two different types
Thank
of
you
mean girls.
very much.
One of which is Mean Girl.
One of which is Mean Girl. This is absolutely accurate. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Elefira, who is How dare you call my PC out so accurately? She's a water genasi rogue.
And our resident big girl, Shani.
Yes, also one of the handful of character types I play.
Listen, we all have types.
I am Shawnee or William, and I am playing Najka Flamehull, the Orcish craftsman.
And our resident frog girl, Craig.
Ribbit. I'm playing Grouper, a Fisherfish Circle of the Moon druid.
And our resident three girl goblins in a trench coat, Jack.
I'm playing three goblins in a mech. Meanie Manny, Gatsby, and Peas.
Fuck them up, Socrates.
And our rat girl, Drevian.
I'm Drevian. I'm playing Tenebrous, a Gerbine Witch.
And our final girl, Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly.
Oh, God.
I'm playing.
The horror story.
I actually think that really I'm the murderer in the horror story.
I mean,
but,
that's Davina's backstory as being the final girl.
True. What am I? I'm an awakened mystic, Silky Folk.
We're all trying to find that out.
Every day. As always,
Relatable.
trans rights are human rights, Black Lives Matter, and when last we left off, the adventurers of the insert name of adventuring party that I do not remember, even though I gave you what the Aquan name was,
Naya.
continued on their caravan up the Silvercut Roadway, heading towards Western, and successfully rescued Elefira and the other members of the caravan they're with from a ambush of spiders, extremely large, extremely sharp spiders, and settled in for a long rest, having reached a sort of preset camp spot along the Silvercut Roadway.
I've
I
heard,
always have a convenient reminder of our party name because it's on our party notes document.
Yeah.
I've heard that a dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp knife. Is that also true of a spider?
No.
Also, a dull blade being more dangerous than a sharp blade is only occasionally the case.
Yeah.
So, you have all settled down for the evening. I think some of you were still taking watches, even though the place is relatively safe, if I recall correctly. Are there any conversations or anything that you want to have before you settle into your watches and go to sleep, those of you that aren't taking watches?
I think... forgive me if I'm confusing this with the night before, but I think Grouper's on with Najka, and it just is more sort of...
Yes, that is
montage style travel, or montage style training.
Education on what you need to know to be an adventurer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, not to get yourself killed, 101.
Correct. That is what's going on with that. But this is just in case there was any conversation that wanted to be happening before that, during that, throughout the night. However people want to do. I don't remember if people had specifically called out that they had a conversation they wanted to do or not. Which is why I'm putting it out there now.
Cut to the shift with Gora and Grouper, and it's just let's get down to business.
So we do not die.
Yes, you do not die.
Be a fish.
Assuming there's not anything else, you can all take your long rest. So if you haven't already hit the long rest button, go ahead and hit it now. As you get up and pack up the caravan and continue along the Silvercut. Who wants to roll me a D100?
I will.
Go ahead. An 8.
Let's open roll 20.
So it's
Catch up.
it is a 2-week it's a 2-week travel time functionally from Stillben to Western along the Silvercut roadway. For the next couple of days, there isn't much activity other than your standard walking a lot, riding a lot if you're not one of the guards, and occasionally just monitoring passing travelers that are going the other direction, just in case they turn out to be brigands. They do not. Not much occurs over the next couple of days on the road. You stop at. It seems like there's a regular regular series of these campgrounds that you stayed at that first night along the Silvercut roadway, and every night you manage to make it to another one. Seems like they've been spaced out for exactly how long a caravan of this size would take on a day of travel to get to. And you stop at another one for the next couple of nights. Any scenes or conversations or anything that people want to have over the course of these quiet few days?
It does not have to be in character, but I think Grouper would make it known that given that things are getting more dangerous and given the nature of his studies and the awakening aspects of his relationship with nature, he thinks it would be a good idea if we all keep our eyes skinned for diamonds to have around in case something goes awry. Or revivify.
Which is 50 gold worth, right?
300.
Yeah, Revivify is 300. The cheapest revival spell is 300 gold.
Yeah. Essentially, Grouper is talking about basically a life insurance policy. Basically just along the lines of, if we can find them, I'm gonna need to have them. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea if all of us just keep one on us. Assuming we can find one for everybody, just keep one on us in an easily accessible place.
Fair enough.
Like we can all get friendship bracelets with diamonds on them, but just something so I can run over to you and smash it.
Yep.
Oh no, wait, never mind.
What?
Martin Victoria is going to discuss the medicine skill with Byron because we're still working on that ever so slowly.
Yep.
Because Meanie Manny is not coming out while caravanning.
No.
Oh
fair.
yeah, Najka is still studying Primordial as well, so there's probably a couple weeks of that.
All right.
And each time we camp, Grouper will take out his driftwood bowl and sort of in sequence detect magic, detect poison and disease, and then purify food and drink.
All right. Sounds good. For the next stretch of roadway, someone other than Trevian who wants to roll D100.
On it.
Oh god.
I know who really likes making these rolls in this group.
I do. 56.
Wow.
Literally
Right
dead
in the
center.
middle of the road.
All right.
Much better.
Go ahead and roll me a D12.
That's where the bandits are.
5. right in the middle of the road. Still where the bandits are.
All right.
Hey, it's tough to do off-road banditry.
So after the
It's fine. It's just that the BMX is hard to locate.
after the second day, a heavy rainfall sort of settles in over the riding plains and more specifically over the Silvercut. And the next 2 days, you are traveling in just drenched downpour rain. There's rain, lightning, thunder. The caravan's progress slows a little bit, but not enough that you're missing campsites on the way. And after 2 days and nights of this, on the third day, the rain begins to slightly let up, but doesn't go away entirely. And as you get up and start packing up the caravan, you all notice that the surrounding landscape, everything around the campsite, the road, the grass, the hills, and else, has been completely blanketed with fungus growing everywhere on the including the previously traveled road, on some of the wagon structure.
Ooh.
And it has everyone, understandably, kind of freaked out.
That does not seem natural.
You said it's been raining?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I will. I'll say, hey, if we have a little time, let me just take a look. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. I will. I mean, first I'll take a look at it, I guess, and then I'd like to detect poison and detect magic.
Give me a nature check.
Okay. $18?
With 18, you recognize these as they are referred to commonly, sort of colloquially, as blanket shriekers. They are a type of mildly toxic mushroom or fungus that grows rapidly from an immense network of mycelium that spreads from underground areas. They are typically underground, but occasionally the mycelium will grow fast enough for any number of reasons that it will basically grow up through the rock and soil of the earth and then start to sprout on the surface. So presumably there are some caves nearby. They are not deadly. The mild toxin that is given off by the spores that they emit make you emotionally dysregulated. Whenever they are touched or removed or anything messed with in any way that would make them give off spores, they also emit this sort of horrific shrieking sound that sounds like the souls of the dead screaming at you. And the toxin that they emit makes you particularly susceptible to that. People that get caught in clouds of those spores can have mental breakdowns just from the sound of the mushrooms. But they're otherwise not dangerous. They're just a hazard.
Okay.
You also notice that they are growing very fast. It takes you're studying them for about 20-30 minutes. They start off about the size of champagne corks. As you're about over the next 30 minutes, you've watched them grow 3 inches.
If they need vast mycelium networks, then the fact that they're growing out of the wagons means that I am A, concerned about their structural integrity, and B, thinking there has to be magic involved to make the mycelium happen that fast in the wagons. because that has to happen before they get fruit.
Is it a contact thing, or do you have to aspirate the spores?
It is a contact. The spores get on your skin, or you breathe them in. Either way.
Okay. Well, damn. I had a cool idea. That will not work. Does it seem like the kind of thing that Najka and Martin Victoria would be able to keep out? Like their suits.
Yeah, once you get away from the mushrooms, they shouldn't continue spreading on you.
My suit means that I don't have to breathe.
Yeah, and you're pretty certain that the good goblins won't necessarily have an issue with it, but you're not certain.
Yeah,
about
I can activate the diving function of my suit and
Okay.
seal
right.
myself off.
Okay, awesome.
Like we need to purge these when we can get people away from the wagons.
So Grouper will say, okay, they're not dangerous per se, but they are kind of a bummer. And he'll explain essentially what Sen passed on and said. Now, I obviously, if anybody else has a different idea, but it seems like they're the kind of thing that shouldn't bother Martin Victoria, and they shouldn't bother Nashka, at least if you're in your suit. And kind of, he'll turn and look a little questioningly at Fyron. Do you have the same kind of thing, or not so much?
I haven't had time to build a diving function into Fyron's suit yet, no.
Okay. Well, I've got an idea. I mean, I guess if nobody cares about it, then it's fine. If you want to just, deal with everything. But I can make a lot of water, and I can also make it so that those of us who can't breathe water can. So Martin, Victoria, and Naushka could maybe pull the rest of us in the cart, and I can just kind of glomp everything together with a bunch of water, and the rest of us could just hide in the water until we're out of the range of the spores.
So, the one thing that you're noticing is that the horses do not seem to want to get anywhere near the mushrooms. If you're going to get the caravan out, you're probably gonna have to clear a path, which isn't too terribly hard to do, though they are growing very fast.
We could do that while you keep everybody in your bubbles.
Yeah.
How about let's keep everyone back from the spores while Martin, Victoria, and I clear a path for us. Not to say that she pulls an inner latch and the suit clamps down into diving mode.
I could help too. I could make like a big bubble of water around myself and just kind of roll.
In either case, we're going to have to clear a path for the caravan to move through. So this is going to be our task for the day.
We think it would be most helpful for you to keep everyone in the caravan safe.
Oh yeah, no. We're going to clear a path for. Do they grow fast enough that it would be a fool's errand to try to clear a path and then come back?
They're also growing on the wagons.
Yeah. They you're watching. Based on how fast they're going right now, you estimate that within an hour within an hour or so they'll be clearing a foot tall each.
Okay.
You could be on wagon duty.
Okay.
You're the ones on the wagons and keep everybody in the wagons okay, and we'll clear the path for the horses.
I know Craig in real life knows that fungus is not technically a plant. Does it count as a plant for D&D?
It depends on what spell you're using.
Speak with plants.
No.
Damn it!
Myconids,
I really thought I was going to get some use out of that.
Myconids are the reason why it doesn't work on Speak with Plants, because it doesn't speak with
okay, fine. All right. Well, I will cast Speak with Animals because I can do that.
Actually, technically speaking, myconids are creature type plant.
Are they?
Yeah, myconids are creature type plant.
Let me double check. They are. It'll work then. Never mind.
Okay.
Magic doesn't like to adhere to specific definitions.
I will use my druid speak with animals to quickly communicate to the horses and be like, "Hey guys, chill. Hey guys, chill. We're just gonna figure this whole thing out. I know it's a bummer, but just hold on."
Animal handling check with advantage because you can talk to them.
All right, cool. Grouper sounds like Sam Elliott when he talks to horses.
So
I
18.
don't. Well, yeah.
You learn the spell by listening to
With 19
tapes in his sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah. With 19, you can help keep the horses a bit calm. They're willing to listen to you.
Okay.
They're
And
willing to
then I'll
trust that
cast.
they're not about to die to the fast-growing mushrooms.
Okay, and then I'll cast Speak with Plants. This is a great use of a 3rd level slot. It's not a ritual.
As soon as you cast Speak with Plants, all you can hear is screaming.
Hey
Make a Constitution
guys,
saving
like
throw.
mellow out. Whoa, too much.
We're going for the sun tree approach for plant life.
No, that's just what shrooms taste sound like. That ain't good. That's an 8.
With an 8, the screaming, the instant screaming. Normally, you would have to get touched by the spores to hear this, but you cast a spell that lets you hear it for free. The what exposure you had previously just from investigating the mushrooms, combined with being able to hear them, you are just immediately overwhelmed emotionally by the sound of 1,000 souls screaming in torment that these mushrooms make.
Man, it's like that
And-
Far Side cartoon where the guy who learns how to speak dog is just, hey, hey, hey.
And you have a bit of an emotional breakdown. Roll me 1d20 real quick.
Just, I feel like that might also break concentration on Speak with Plants.
Oh, it does.
That would be a good thing.
Yeah, it takes you about 3 minutes to calm back down.
All right. Yeah, good. I did.
Yeah, you all just watch Grouper suddenly just fully break down emotionally.
Meanwhile, Najka and Martin Victoria is stepping forward to clear mushrooms.
I see.
Oh God.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna talk to the mushrooms.
Oh no!
There is the most uncomfortable, like, hand on shoulder ish thing.
I'm not gonna eat less of them.
How are you?
It actually makes me want to eat more because I hate them so much. Oh God!
You don't want to live.
How are you talking with the mushrooms, Tiris?
Hex Elder Tongue.
Which does what?
I can rudimentary speak with plants and animals.
Okay, make a Constitution save.
Let's see. Constitution.
You also get nothing but like a rudimentary sense of endless screaming in torment and no real intelligible thought other than that. But you're able to hold yourself together a bit better.
So yeah, the mushrooms just scream. It's just screaming.
And which everyone can start hearing as Najka and the good goblins begin to like clear a path. It's just an endless screaming that all of you can hear as spores are emitted from these mushrooms. The good goblins do not have to make a save because they are in an airtight vehicle. Najka, you are in a.
I'm also in an airtight. I'm also in an airtight
fully
mode
airtight?
of operation. Yes, it
fully
has
airtight?
8 hours. It has 8 hours of clean air during the diving mode.
What I mean is, does it also protect like your arms and things, your skin, because it is contact?
Yes, it is the diving. The diving suit is fully encased because it's meant for pressurized diving
Cool.
underwater.
All right, you also don't have to make a save. Yeah, so the two of you begin clearing mushrooms. You realize it's going to take the two of you working together. It's going to take about 3 hours to clear enough of a path for the caravan to go.
Can it inch forward as we go so we don't make back progress?
If they inch forward while you go, everyone in the caravan will be inundated into the spores. Because as soon as you begin uprooting mushrooms, it's just hard to see clouds of spores. And lots of screaming.
Does anybody have a gust of wind or something?
Nope. I have water, but that's not going to help.
I mean, you might be able to rain the spores down. You might be able to weigh them down with water.
I have an absolutely terrible idea.
No.
Do a tornado.
I have tidal wave, but it only goes 30 feet.
So
I have produce flame.
I was about to say, it is worth noting that Najka has these sort of like crystalline diodes in the gloves of her armor, so that she can use her produce flame while she's wearing her gloves. And she is going to see, like, as she's testing whether or not these fungi react to fire at all, and whether or not the spores are cleared or made worse by a flame nearby.
And we can do that far away from the cabin.
Roll me a craftsman tools with intelligence.
Yeah, because a lot of fungus spores tend to be moderately flammable, and if it's a cloud of them, it's going to explode.
25.
So
yeah, we don't want it to explode.
It is extremely damp because it's still raining. So the produce flame, like, you're definitely popping spores with it, but it's not the area is too damp for you to actually like set a cloud of spores on fire.
But it might help with like clearing them out without setting them off too much.
It might speed up the timeline.
Honestly, it'll slow it down. Trying to use that than just shoving the mushrooms away. Waiting for them to catch fire while it's raining will be significantly slower than just ripping the mushrooms
out. The one that does that. Because Tenebris isn't contributing to our speed with the mushrooms.
It's not a single bit of produce flame isn't going to be enough to like clear the cloud of spores. I was talking about like using produce flame to clear the mushrooms instead of just ripping them up. Would be a lot slower.
Yeah, I was thinking just because produce flame is a flame that you hold in your hand. I was thinking just while holding that flame, just grabbing and ripping mushrooms away with it.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't affect the speed at which you'd rip up mushrooms because
what about moonbeam?
Because it's still raining. You can try moonbeam.
That do fire damage?
It does radiant damage.
When Grouper is calmed down, finally he goes, "What's up with that? Fuck these guys!" And I'll call down a 10-foot radius moonbeam.
Let me look at moonbeam real quick.
It's a 5-foot radius, 10-foot diameter.
Yeah.
Shines down 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder, so it should get ground and spores up above it. Dim light fills the cylinder. Everything inside takes 2d10 radiant damage. If it's shapeshifted, which, wow, what a twist if that's the case. It reverts to its actual form. If these turn into, like, fucking Steve Buscemi or something, I'm going to lose my mind.
I do love Moonbeam as the, like, find out if something's a shapeshifter spell.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a reason it is a staple of every druid I play.
It's the find out it's also the fuck over your changeling ally spell.
Yeah, or like, it's just like, now, everyone in this town, we know one of you is a werewolf. Step into the moonbeam. Now, this is going to kill a lot of you, but you're all commoners with 4 hit points.
It's the witch trial spell, but for werewolves.
Yeah,
if you survive, you're not a civilian.
If you're a werewolf, it will reveal your true form. If you're just a civilian, it will kill you. But it will prove that you're a civilian.
Will die with proof of innocence.
Hey guys, do you like my cool new hat? Anyway, Witchfinder Grouper reporting for duty.
Oh my god.
Hey, Tenebris.
So yeah, you hit a batch of mushrooms with the moonbeam, and the mushrooms first grow bigger and then explode. Like,
oh god, it's
like it definitely accelerates their growth. But does clear them out after it accelerates them. There is a massive explosion of spores though that escapes the moonbeam. It would clear them quicker, but it would make it more dangerous for everyone else.
Well, can I just do that 120 feet out?
Yeah.
And start so I'll just start doing that far away. And
in the distance and pull it towards you. We'll say that functionally you're a third person clearing, which means you're going to reduce the amount of time it's going to take.
Okay.
From 3 hours to an hour and a half.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just stuck now on the notion of Grouper with a Vincent Price style goatee and like the
Witch Hunter
Matthew
hat?
Hopkins
Holly-
long hair.
Holly, to
and-
bring you up to speed, Holly, the entire campsite has been surrounded by mushrooms that scream.
Oh, okay. Like
Grouper
tiny
had-
ones?
Well, they were
Giant
tiny.
ones.
Now
very,
they're big.
very large, very fast growing ones.
They were tiny. Now they're big. And they made Grouper have an emotional breakdown for 3 minutes.
And then we blew them up with a moonlight.
I tried talking to them, and they just scream more.
What sort of emotional breakdown?
Essentially
It's like
a-
when you've never been a parent before, and then you step into a classroom and every single child in the room is yelling. That kind of an emotional breakdown.
So
combined with a bad trip, basically.
the mushrooms.
Ella is very awkwardly like hand on shoulder pat comforting.
Yeah,
It's like the Marquis de Carabas in
When
Neverwhere. Like there.
You're actively hearing
There.
right now, as while Najka and the goblins and Grouper are clearing mushrooms out of the way. Whenever the mushrooms are disturbed, they emit spores, and whenever they emit spores, it's the sound of 1,000 dead souls screaming their eternal torment.
Okay.
The spores are also mildly toxic, so if you get any of it on you, you have to make a con save, or you get basically just emotionally distraught at the sound you're hearing and have a breakdown.
Okay, are the mushrooms still here?
Yes, there's a lot of them. It's going to take a few hours to
it-
clear.
Is it middle of the night right now?
No, it's
Morning?
the morning. It's raining. It's
Okay.
morning.
The group is getting ready to move on, but we need to clear these mushrooms before we can fully get out.
We're gonna move slow.
Okay.
So I don't have the spell Calm Emotions. But we are going to produce music from allegedly our internal speakers. While we're going, just so that there's something to listen to that is not screaming.
Tenebris also talked to the mushrooms and confirmed that they just scream.
Tenebris under his breath calls them little bitches. Sits back on the cart,
They are.
tilts his head back, opens his mouth, and just lets the rain fill his mouth and pour off the sides.
They are referred to as blanket shriekers. Is the name of the mushroom.
So yeah, there's Gatsby has her vial out inside the
Yeah. So yeah,
and she's playing something that is not screaming.
Najka and the good goblins and Grouper's moonbeam. How long does moonbeam last?
It's a minute, so I'll have to. I can move it every 6 seconds.
Yeah,
So
how many castings of moonbeam are you going to give to help speed up the time?
I'll do 5. I'll burn my other 3rd level slots.
Yeah, and it clears them fast. It clears it faster than they are manually, which is why it'll still speed up more than the minute that it gives you. But
Yeah.
You got about an hour and a half of screaming while the good goblins and Najka clear the way. What is the rest of you doing other than occasionally casting moonbeam?
You just have like a Team Fortress 2 Meet the Pyro style camera view of just the blank, like faceless plates of Najka's visor as there's just screaming in the foreground as she's just burning and ripping up fungus.
And then it cuts to Martin Victoria, and it's just the different music instead of screaming.
Just peppy folk violin songs, just you know, like that kind.
I will cast before we start. I will cast the water breathing,
Did anyone
which
want...
lasts for 24 hours. So anybody who doesn't breathe water can, and if it gets overwhelming, you can just literally stick your head in a bucket.
Does anyone want to inspect the mushrooms that are on the carts?
Please,
No,
summon.
I don't.
I will burn divine smites if it speeds things up because the moonbeam helped so much.
Divine Smite won't speed things up because it's still you having to hit it with your
Yep.
It's the same speed. It's just slightly more radiant.
Oh, but do
Moonbeam
you have
helped 'cause
that
it was an
that
AoE.
cantrip? Yeah. Do you have the radiant damage cantrip?
Oh.
Word of
Word
Radiance?
of Radiance or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know that one. I should get
It's
that.
I think
It's
you
a
have to
cleric
be as a
cantrip.
paladin. You have to be a divine warrior to be able to get cleric cantrips. So it's like a triple dip for you already. So don't sweat it. I just was curious if you had it. Okay.
Sounds cool though.
So yeah, the mushrooms on the caravan because they are there.
Nashka will
supposed to
eventually
be,
get to them if no one else does, but like hopefully someone else does before she has to do it.
Tenebrous will.
Victoria is busy, but I want to know about them.
Okay.
Davina will check them out with Tenebrous.
One of you, either one of you can either give me a nature tool or a nature check or a woodworker's carpenter's tools check with wisdom.
I will do carpenter's tools with wisdom.
Can I do nature?
Yeah, you can do nature. With the nature, you can see that the very thin, almost invisible strands of mycelium have basically woven their way up the wheels of the wagon and onto the outside of the outside of the cover. As it basically encountered a spot where it couldn't grow, so it just kept going until it got to a point where it could. So you'd have to basically peel that off the wagon. It doesn't look like it went through the wood though. It just went on over the outside of the wood.
Mycelium doesn't make spores though, so that's easy work.
No, it's just
like you
the
just have to,
mushroom,
like, pull
the fruited
the
mushroom.
mushrooms off, and
Which-
theoretically, once the wagon starts moving, it should break the mycelium just by the turning of the wheel.
Which at this point, as you're looking at it, the mushroom that is growing off of it, this wagon up here, is like 2 feet in size. It's actually causing the wagon cover to like bow a little bit. With carpenter's tools, Tenebrous, yeah, the action of the wheels turning should be enough to break the mycelium. You just want to get rid of the mushrooms before they spore all over everyone in the caravan.
Prestidigitation. Clean.
You clean the outside of the caravan. It doesn't get rid of the mushrooms.
It doesn't count for the spell. It doesn't count that as
No,
foreign material.
it wouldn't count the mushroom as something that can be cleaned.
Oh, I was thinking the mycelia could because.
Oh yeah, no, it also wouldn't count that because it's part of it's the mycelium is a part of a much larger contiguous mass than that spell can even affect. You can't prestidigitate like a person's hand away. You would have to be able to affect the entire person, that kind of thing. Same thing with the mycelium.
Challenge accepted.
Bet you could do it in 3.5.
The mushroom is not a stain.
Yeah, the mushroom is not a stain.
Oh my god, 3-5 would be like, yeah, okay, you say that, but then I took the extreme cleaner prestige class, and then I have mop proficiency, and then I also used this other prestige class that gives me a plus 14 when I use mops that allows prestige. Yeah,
Prestige
3-5
these
was
boulders
dumb.
on your head.
Yeah.
Well then, Tenebrous will pull out some tools and just start finely scraping the surface of the wood.
Yeah.
To scrape off the mycelium.
Yeah, you can do that easy. And yeah, like as was said, the mycelium doesn't produce any of the spores. It doesn't have any of the screaming effect either. It seems like that screaming effect only happens when you interface with the mushrooms.
There is still at least one giant mushroom on the
There
caravan.
are 5 discrete
Not to get
mushrooms.
orange juice on yourself by cutting off a branch. You can do it.
What was that?
It's like trying not to get orange juice on yourself by snapping off a branch from an orange tree.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
There are 5 mushrooms on each wagon.
You know, I would like to try to read the aura of the mushrooms.
It's giving me
It's
gazebo
worth a shot.
vibes.
One.
No, I
Vinny
mean,
wants
to
to
be
be a
fair, they
deck
did
chair.
make us have a mental
No.
breakdown, or at least me.
This feels a lot more valid than that.
No, I know.
But I'm getting flashbacks and I love it.
I'm not making fun of it. It was just an amusing thought. All right, let me see.
I know it sounds weird saying, but it's worth a shot.
Go ahead and make me a. Okay, it's not a creature. So there's
Okay.
not. So as you look at it, it's not emitting an aura that you can see.
Okay.
But I mean,
I'm
that's
gonna-
valid. It's not like the birth of a myconid colony, so that's fair.
It could have been though.
I'm gonna tell everyone to get well away from one of the mushrooms, and then whip it,
Into
and then
shape?
try to
Good.
and then prestidigitation the spores off the cart.
Make a Constitution save. First from the whip. All right, yeah, no, you resist the. Yeah, you whip it, screams immediately. You resist the mental assault the toxin that infiltrates your body begins to do. And then, yeah, you can start cleaning the spores. You can repeat this if you want. Or you can take
Yeah.
turns with someone else. So it'll be 5 Constitution save, 4 more for the first wagon, 1 for each mushroom.
Oh no.
It's just a progressive lowering.
Which is fair because each time you whip one, it's 1,000 souls screaming at you. The 9 fails, so I need you to roll me a d20. Eventually, the assault on your psyche is the assault combined with the mood-altering toxins that are infiltrating you. It just becomes too much as you finish clearing off the last mushroom on one of the wagons and just break down, sobbing, incoherent for 4 minutes.
The thought that comes to mind is, I'm hitting them from 10 feet away. Is the spore cloud 10 feet across?
The spore cloud like flowers as soon as you hit it, and it's just like sort of a 20-foot burst of spores.
Okay.
Like yeah, you can't. There's no place that you can hit it from without it affecting.
Can I
Getting everyone else
Tenebrous,
away from
like-
it though is good because then nobody else is getting affected. But
And you got a whole wagon cleared.
Cooper?
since I've already dealt with it, do I feel like just to put it very bluntly in mechanical terms, is it the kind of thing where once I'm exposed to it, I'm immune to it, like
No.
the damage is already done? Okay. Then is Tenebrous stepping out of the cloud or is staying in the cloud while having a breakdown?
He gets to the last one, starts breaking down, and goes and starts scraping the mycelium off another cart.
just crying. while-
This is just
Okay. I'm gonna go
this
up.
is just sad.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go up and just sort of like walk up behind Tenebrous and just, if he'll let me, just like hug him.
You kind of feel Tenebrous' like kind of shudder a little bit and like the hitched breathing as he's not quite sobbing, but like right on the edge.
Elefira sitting back watching the drama.
And I'll cast
Pouring a drink.
as I'm hugging him, I'll cast resistance.
Davina's gonna come over on the other side and hug Tenebrous.
Yeah.
So we're just completely like encasing him.
Mush him, mouse. Why don't you?
Also getting yourselves covered in spores. Yeah.
That's fine.
All right. Yeah. So you can still like do like basic things, but you're not going to be able to focus enough to whip a mushroom at least for another 4 minutes.
It's just this real like just scraping the wood,
Yeah.
getting the mycelium off. Like
Monotonous task.
yeah, this task that Tenebris has performed thousands of times through who knows what emotional crisis over.
I love the
Scraping
juxtaposition.
barnacles is how you zen. It's how you zen when you're on the docks.
I love the juxtaposition of the two fully armed and armored individuals ripping their way through mushrooms on one side, and then over here just this cuddle pile in the midst of spores while it's raining. So it's real like full on like sad puppy music, like just as rain is coming down, drenching all of you. Elefira off to one side in a wagon, dry, drinking wine.
Yep.
So that's one wagon cleared, and progress being made on the thing. Tenebris is not able to.
The scene
proceed
around
just
Najka
yet.
is just something out of an apocalypse movie. It's
Yeah.
like fully encased hazard suit, just ripping through clouds of spores.
Firing off to one side of the caravan, watching. Just going like, I think for some reason, I think we're just mixing genres.
Meanwhile, it's not a banjo, but I'm picturing the dueling banjos.
But violin, yeah.
Except the forward cleaning party is like electric guitar, and the back party is like sad violin. Both playing the same melody, just massively different feel.
Well, yeah. So camp crew, 2 more wagons to clear. Who's doing what next?
I'll clean the other one.
Okay.
I'm already in it. After with Tenebris is sort of after the 4 minutes pass, if Tenebris is back to himself, sort of pat him on the shoulder, and then go over. Sort of, he does that thing where it's like you move your head to crack the bones, except Cooper doesn't really have a neck. It's just like, so it's just this weird sort of like squishy sound, and he goes over to get into the other one.
All right. How are you clearing them?
I think I learned my lesson. I probably shouldn't eat this stuff. But
who knows what'll happen if you eat it?
Yeah, for real.
Surely eating mood-altering mushrooms will have no negative effects on your longevity.
No, I know. I assume Druidcraft. I can't use that to just sort of like wither through the base.
Let me see. Let me look. Druidcraft. What is the current? Because the current Druidcraft is different from the previous one. So.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I would like to point out that once the mycelium has been scraped off, it is not part of a larger whole. It's just a fruit. So, in case that helps Grouper's case any, all he's asking to do is wither a fruit.
Yeah, it specifically says I can make it bloom. I'll just starry wisp it. Pew 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 pew. I'll just shoot them off repeatedly. If I can't do it in a cool druidy way, I'll just do it in a shooting gallery way, where I'm basically like the way we're flavoring starry wisp is like little shards of ice out of the air.
Yeah, Druidcraft lets you bloom but not wither, so it wouldn't. That wouldn't work. But yeah.
Can I use starry wisp and shape water to effectively power wash simulator my way through the through the other cart? Okay,
absolutely, yeah. You will need to make you can do that from a distance, so you're not affected by more spores. You will need to make 1 Constitution save for the spores that you got on yourself from Tenebris.
Yeah, of course.
And Davina will also need to make a Constitution save for the spores that she got on herself from Tenebris.
Yeah, I would like to give Davina resistance to assist with that, and I'll just do it normal like.
I mean,
sorry,
didn't need
I just rolled it. Oh, okay.
No, the resistance is an extra D4. I got a 19 that time.
You're both fine. Yeah.
After 4 minutes of crying to himself, Tenebris does the 3rd cart.
All right. With the whip or with something else?
Yeah. With the whip.
All right. 5 Constitution saves with a D4 from resistance, I believe. Although you can only have resistance up on 1 person at a time now, I think.
Well, I if he's waiting back in, I'll go back and cast it on him after Davina has already recovered. So. Yeah.
A D4, additional D4 on every save.
D4.
A 9's a failure. You get 1 off and collapse. D20 for 10
I'll
minutes.
go over and just sort of pat him on the shoulder and like with one hand and the other hand just like power washing.
Doing it your way.
One more con save from you, Grouper.
Wait, you said I didn't have to do it because I just had to do it for the time.
He just got doused in toxins again, and you walked over.
Oh,
and
for going up to him.
Yeah.
Oh no, totally fair. All right. Natural 1.
Roll a D20.
No.
This is how we get depression.
The molds are sad.
13 minutes.
So
You've
Tenebrous
ruined,
and Grouper.
you've ruined a perfectly good fish with what you've done. Look at him. He's got depression.
Tenebrous and Grouper get 2 mushrooms off third cart and collapse into a pile of tears.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I have an idea. I can't do anything.
You can't do anything productive.
Can I turn into a crab? Crabs don't cry.
You'll still be miserable.
Make a wisdom save.
Yes.
They may
If
not
you
cry,
beat
but
a
I
DC
bet they
10,
still
you
feel
can turn
sad.
into a crab.
Jesus.
Natural 20 to crab.
You turn
Oh
into,
my God.
You turn into
all things return to crab.
You turn to the world's most depressed, emotionally broken crab.
Who is
So
unable to cry, but
you
is
are-
still feeling terrible.
Men will literally turn into crabs rather than go to therapy.
Sen, would you say I'm a little crabby?
You are a lot crabby. Yes.
Oh my God.
I can
You
start...
are. I don't want to feel emotions, so I am literally turning it.
Have you paid any attention to
I'm
Grouper's character arc?
I'm saying, like,
That Grouper's entire character is will turn into an animal before going to therapy. That's been his
Oh,
the whole
100%.
campaign.
she is not
Grouper will
saying,
lick cursed bones before going to therapy.
she is not saying it physically, but it is all over her face, her posture, everything.
I feel like
This is everything in a nutshell right here.
I love
or a
the
crab
idea-
shell.
I love
crab
the
shell.
idea of Grouper going to therapy and the therapist going, so tell me how you feel, and then Grouper just turning to a crab and scuttling away.
Yeah.
No, okay. So Holly is laughing now, but I feel like up to like 5 seconds ago, Holly looked like Elefira looked in game. It's just this like, oh God. Yeah, 100%. I will. Okay, I don't want to bog things down, but like very brief peek into like where Grouper comes from as a character. Grouper is literally the result of the time that Craig, have spent in therapy and making the opposite decision every time for this character.
That tracks. Yeah.
Like 100%. Grouper is me being like, but what if I didn't do any of those things?
You're supposed to use opposite thought to stop yourself from doing the bad impulses, not to do the bad impulses.
Well, I don't do them. Grouper does. It's healthy.
Tenebrous laying on the ground on his back, staring up at the sky,
With a-
tears rolling down from the corners, his mouth open, just filling with rainwater, and then also flowing out.
And there's a
also
crab
a
on your chest blasting water. Because I can cast
still
Starry Wisp as a crab.
You still can't cast Starry Wisp as a crab because you're still the function of the emotional breakdown is that you can't do anything actionable, even in crab form.
Okay, so is Tenebrous actively crying?
Yeah.
Tenebrous is actively crying, right? So Crab Grouper is grabbing the tears and eating them?
There is just an audible sigh and an eye roll as she goes,
Excellent
So,
Foley and prop
Nashka
work, Jeremy.
and good goblins. I'm gonna
Do
say
we finish our task and
I'm
come
gonna
back
say-
to find one
yes.
caravan
You
still covered in
finish.
mushrooms?
You finish your task. Get back. There's one caravan that still has 3 mushrooms on it, and a small crab drinking Tenebrous' tears as he's laying on his back, mouth open, sobbing in the rain.
I'm going to pick the crab up and put it in the tank on the back. Just enough of this.
There's like the crab is just sort of sadly reaching for Tenebrous as you pick it up.
Just
There's-
drop
there-
it in the tank.
The camera just pans and focuses on the blank, emotionless visage of Najka's helmet, where you cannot see what facial expressions are happening underneath, and it just sort of lingers there for an uncomfortably long moment before she turns and goes to deal with the mushrooms.
A bottle is held out to Najka and the goblins.
A what?
A bottle.
Alifera has
Oh.
been helping herself to wine.
The good goblins will take it and hold on to it for when they're finished.
Okay, fair enough.
The temptation is there.
She's already drank half the bottle, so it's fine.
But I'm not going to do that.
I love the image though of from the animation, the action that Grouper did there, of just the crab desperately trying to get back to Tenebrous while it's being picked up handily and just dunked in a bucket.
As Najka finishes
That was
clearing
a
the
baseball
caravan.
crab. This is not a helpful choice. You live in the bucket now.
When I'm a
Once-
crab, I can't
once-
feel the tears.
Once the caravan finishes being cleared, Najka will start clearing away the spores and get everyone moving.
I'm in my safety bucket. I can't feel
You
anything
need to
in
make an
here.
animal handling check because the horses were not couldn't get away from the caravan and are definitely having emotional breakdowns of their own.
Let me help them.
You are maintained in the bucket.
Just put lid on it.
Did you know
I will spend it.
you can store crabs in a bucket without a lid? Because crabs will pull the other crabs back down. They will actively prevent their compatriots from finding safety.
DC 10 is, it was
Edinburgh.
DC 10 was
That's
what you
very-
needed. So yeah, you managed to get the caravan moving.
That's very grouper right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's also very Werner Herzog.
Yeah, I was just realizing I probably should. Yeah, that should be my crab voice. Did you know that if you put crabs into a
no.
bucket, they will continually pull each other down?
I just
You have put me into my emotional safety bucket.
We gonna go find some bears to befriend at this point.
Sad beige crabs for sad beige buckets.
Bears that will eat us.
The bears don't want to
We
eat
could
the
just
Prussian
walk-
crab.
We could just
That-
walk
and-
back into the forest and find some spiders.
The inevitable curve of evolution is towards crab, which means that the inevitable curve of emotional evolution is towards sadness.
Listen, Grizzly Man has proven bears gonna eat what bears gonna eat.
You
I was a
eventually,
bear once, but bears can still cry.
after
Die.
literally crab bucket before he goes to therapy.
yeah 30 minutes
That's this
13
week's
minutes
t-shirt.
later 13 minutes later Grouper it no longer has depression crabs.
There is a very like a very sheepish looking grouper, not literally, I know I'm a druid, just sort of peeking up out of the bucket. It's like,
Also a fish.
I think I'm okay now. Can I come out?
No.
Yes.
Okay. I'll pull myself out.
Think about what you did.
Stay there and think about what you did exactly.
I feel like Fyron picked Tenebrous up and just laid him on the back of the caravan as it got moving.
There's a moment like once the caravan has like fully cleared its way out of the spores, where Najka just sort of steps off to one side, and there's just this gout of flames as produced flames just burns off any lingering spores on her armor.
Yeah.
And she just like engulfs herself in fire for a second, and then there's a release of steam as the armor lets go of dive mode.
All seen
and also as the rain
in
hits,
fucking
hits
Zack
the fire.
Snyder slow-mo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Because it's still raining, so then there's just steam as the hot metal meets the cold rain.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of walking away from the explosion without looking back, walking away from flames on yourself
Yeah,
without
yep.
looking back.
Yep.
Cool crabs don't look at depression. They go in the bucket as Martin walks away.
You are not a cool crab.
I like cool crabs don't look at depression. They go in the bucket and you stop there. Like it's cool crabs don't look at depression.
Look at explosion.
They go in the
They
bucket.
go in the bucket.
It's just like the rhythm stops before you say bucket.
Yeah. That's we were talking about the Mean Girls musical. It's like, I may not be smart. That's it.
This is very good.
So the mushroom situation will have set you back about a day of travel. Even though you were able to get out a couple.
That's my Grateful Dead cover band.
The mushroom
Mushroom
situation,
situation.
100%. You beat me too. I was trying to think of a good one, and that's the best.
Dave Matthews.
Did any of you wish to collect a sample of the mushrooms before leaving?
Absolutely not. And I am looking daggers at anybody who tries.
I, the player, do, but none of the good goblins do, so we'll leave it.
The thing is, Najka, being a craftsman, is experienced in alchemy and wants to know what she can make out of this. So yes, she will like vial and cap a sample of the.
That's fine. Najka's competent.
I am legitimately like uncomfortable weaponizing sadness. Both as a player and as grouper.
She wants to know if she can like distill anything out of this, potentially like a reagent to resist it. Like
Maybe we'll find
every poison is just an
antidote
overdose of
to
medicine.
depression.
You know what? Honestly,
Have you considered that?
I hadn't, but I also am like now I'm slowly coming around on it because I love the concept of like hitting somebody with a blow dart and then having them just be like, "Wait, oh god, oh."
Look at all. They just sit down and cry.
You have acquired one sample of magic mushrooms.
Bad trip.
Magic mushrooms brackets bad trip.
Magic mushrooms brackets depression.
I love this.
All right.
this is-
Someone who is not Jeremy or Tenebris, go ahead and give me a D100 roll.
I bet
Aw.
Sen didn't expect this to take an hour and a half.
I mean,
99.
That's got to be the real good stuff, right?
all right.
You found the
Well-
torchbearers.
Sweet depression.
They're asleep. Let's get them.
Good
As
news,
we-
you found the torchbearers. Bad news, we found all of them, and
Every
they were
single
waiting
one.
for us.
Ambush, yeah. Well, as you continue on your day, eventually the rain stops, and before we find out what that D100 roll means, we're gonna go ahead and take our break for the evening. So, those of you that are watching live, please stay tuned for these commercial messages, and remember, when we take our break, you take yours. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do what you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Northeast
we're back. A dinosaur story. So,
Are you sure it's not a crab story?
no, it's not a crab story. There's only one crab so far.
We'll all end up there.
Well, yeah, it's a crab story, not a crabs story.
That would be a very different story. That's
Yes.
on Wednesday.
I mean, that's a GIF.
What?
All the dancing crabs.
Yeah, the crab rave gif.
Come with me, and we'll be
Oh, God,
in
is
a
that too
world
old of a
of
reference
pure
now?
calcination.
Arsenization.
Jeremy, it's not too old when Shawnee got
I should
it.
let you guys go. So,
That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah, I got the crab rave gif. The
In fairness, you are getting a little old at this point.
I'm not even 30 yet, my dude.
Join us.
Uh-huh.
That's what we
Got
all
it.
said.
Yeah,
Believe me,
just give it a year.
everybody has said
2
that
years.
at some point.
look,
I said it the other day. I was like, "Hey, I'm not even 30 yet," and then I went, "Oh my fuck, I'm in my 40s."
Bo Burnham.
Be fair-
Bo Burnham dedicated a song to it on his last special.
I'm past 30 and I'm pretty sure I'm not old yet either. So, you know.
There's a whole song in Tick Tick Boom about it.
If you have to do math to remember how old you are,
You have ADHD.
Oh,
So you have
fuck
ADHD,
you,
is the
Craig.
answer to that one.
Not
No.
to remember.
I
oh,
have-
I've been there since I was 26.
I must say I've always had to do math to remember how old I am. That's not an
So
indicator of
have I.
age.
I had to do math to remember how old I was from 15 onward. Like,
So, anyways,
Excuse me, I just need to shove these straight up my nose into my brain now.
that'll
Well,
hurt.
you didn't spend the day trying to figure out how to get your child a learner's permit, so
Jeremy, why would you shove them up your nose to your brain? The Egyptian Coptic stuff is for Wednesday night, not Thursday.
Yes, but I am an Egyptologist Wiccan, so
on Wednesdays we wear Coptic.
Oh my god. Oh. I hate it so much.
You love it.
I kind of do. I'm not going to lie. That one was really good.
Do I change out the event we rolled for a different one? Do I need to do that? Is that what? To
I'm
continue
never going to be actively mad, like actually mad at an Egyptian mythology reference rolled into a
Rolled into
pop
a Mean
culture
Girls.
reference.
So I have a very narrow window.
Yes, you do. Just get read up on your Horus and Isis memes.
All I can think of is the
God, what's
Is-
the damn it, what's
is-
the Lancer, the Horus core bonus?
Yeah, you've lost me already. You
No,
said
it's
Lancer.
there's like castigation of the enemies of Ra or something like that.
all I can think of is
it
spelling Thoth and
is castigation of the
in Greek.
Godhead, and then expelling enemies from the Temple of Ra.
Yeah,
Look,
expelling
there
the
are
enemies of the
plenty
I
of
was also
jokes
thinking,
you can
stop
make
trying to make
about-
Thoth happen.
Yeah, no, definitely stop trying to make Thoth happen.
Thoth happens
Because
on their
fuck
own.
you. No, there are a number of jokes you can make about missing phalluses.
Anyways, you're on the road traveling in a caravan.
And we aren't crabs.
Moving right along.
Are there any conversations you want to have over the next couple of days of travel?
Nope,
I am-
not me.
I am fairly sure that that Ella is not sober enough to make to initiate any conversations at this point.
Not sober's a great time to initiate conversations, though.
I said initiate conversations. Now, if people want to start shit, it's a great time for that.
Conversations happen, but I don't have any that need to happen on screen.
Actually, legitimately, I think I would check in with Tenebris.
Proceed.
So that was rough.
It started out fine, and then it just kept going.
That's kind of. That's actually really deep, Tenny. That's kind of been like my whole life for the past like 5 years. You doing okay?
Has it still been raining?
The rain is let up at this point.
Okay. So Tenebris can't just look at you with rain running down his face like a damp rat.
If you don't want to talk about this right now, that's okay. But you're kind of like full of water, right?
Yup. Proceeds to cough up some water.
Does it hurt?
Not particularly. Like, I imagine when it first happened, it probably, like, I've heard the stories of people drowning, like, almost drowning in, like, a burning sensation. But, like, I don't have that at this point.
Okay, out of character, I mean, everybody has their own speech patterns and things like that, and I generally don't like to ask people things about the way that they said something, but I feel like that's a kind of important one. Was that in character or out of character, the stumble of people drowning to people almost drowning?
More out of character. Because
Okay,
if somebody actually drowns, chances are they aren't going to be able to tell you what it felt like.
Well, that's true in real life, but this is a weird world where skeletons walk around and we have a rat full of water. So I was just curious if he's like accidentally admitting to having drowned.
I'm not sure if he'd admit to having drowned because I don't think
Okay.
he fully remembers that.
Totally fair. All right. I just wanted to clarify. Okay. So Grouper says, are you okay with it now? Is it anything you want to try to do anything about, or is it just kind of how you are?
I mean, being filled with water just seems innocuous enough. I mean, I can breathe underwater, which is helpful.
Yeah.
So, if it's fixable, then sure, but, like, I'm not going on some big quest just solely to fix that.
Okay. I mean, no judgment. I mean, honestly, it would make my life easier if I was filled with water. But different, you know. And he kind of smiles at you and says, "Okay, well." Anyway, if you have any, side effects from things, chances are I'm probably having them too. So let's keep checking in, okay?
Understandable. Just make sure you're not slacking on your guard job.
Oh yeah, totally. Crab eyes. That's all.
Anyone else? Going once, going twice.
Start stuff, Jeremy. Do it.
I don't know how long this is gonna go, but yeah, she's gonna try and. It sounds really bad, but quarter Davina at some point.
Okay. So it's gonna be Grouper.
Nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
When you say corner, like, I mean, I picture her like backing Davina into a corner. or
No,
something.
just like finding some spot where, like, I mean, it's not that, but it's like it is a point where, like, you know, she's just trying to catch her alone at some point, really.
Yeah, she's honestly, she's kind of keeping to herself right now.
Okay.
She's staring out the back. And yeah.
So yeah, she'll just sort of drop down next to her. And yeah, she has been fairly drunk throughout the entire since the mushroom thing. Hey,
You hear
how
in
you
your
doing?
head. You hear in your head. Hello.
How you doing? This is not in the head.
I'm Davina's side continues to be in your head.
Yes, for sure.
I'm all right.
Cool. So, all right. So I know how this is gonna sound, and it's not what it sounds like. I am just trying to get a handle on somebody who I legitimately don't remember at this point. So what do we know about what's her name?
Oh no.
Who? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I know. I know. Out of character. I know.
Way.
Way. Yeah.
I'm just trying to
No, Davina
this
doesn't
is
know who
some
you're talking
yeah.
about.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Who?
I'm just trying to because I feel bad because apparently they were like friends with us and I don't remember anything about them. And so I just want to know literally everything there is to know about them.
Oh, Quay?
Yes.
I mean, she kind of did her own thing. You were a little preoccupied with Grouper.
Right. Yes, I was. But I'm just saying I don't know anything, and I don't want it to be awkward when we get back to the place and like
It's gonna
I'm
be
like,
awkward, and I
hey,
don't think
person
there's
I
anything you
don't
can
know.
do about that.
No, there's nothing that's gonna be awkward about it unless I don't know who this is. You have to tell me things about her.
How much have you had to drink?
That doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. I think you might need to lie down.
I'm fine. Like
Maybe.
what does she do? What is she like? What does she like? What doesn't she like? Anything.
Okay, are you asking this because you actually want to get to know her, or because you want to figure her out and figure out her weaknesses so that you can take advantage of this later on?
What do you think?
The latter.
That I did. You know what? I'm offended by that.
Okay.
No, I just want to know because I don't know anything about this person. This is a person that is obviously going to be part of, she's there at where we live. She's been friends with us apparently for a while, and I literally don't remember anything. I didn't remember her name until you told me it right now, and you told me it previously. So
name is Quay.
Right, I got
on your
that
arm
part.
for you if that's helpful.
No, I got it. Quay. I will definitely remember that.
She worked at the docks. She
Right.
kind of kept to herself.
Mhm.
Out of game. Was she like around our age, a little older?
She's around your
she
age.
was
Yeah.
our age.
Yeah, she's your age.
Around our age.
She's a fisher.
Okay.
She fishes.
Okay. Was that kind of her personality? Like, I take it she kind of just kept to herself and she fished?
I mean, she's a turtle.
Yeah.
And
Right.
while not all turtles are very turtle-like, she is in particularly very turtle-like. So make of that what you will.
Yeah.
She likes to fish. She fishes. She's here to fish.
Yeah.
Rich inner life, which in this case means like she's got a really cool shell details on the inside posters.
She's She's a turtle. She fishes. She keeps to herself. She's pretty sweet.
Right.
And that's like, I don't know her favorite color or anything like that.
So what you're saying is nobody really got to know her.
I mean, Grouper might have.
Besides
I'm not
Grouper,
sure. I
obviously.
like,
I would love for like that conversation to happen, and then like later, Elafira asks Najka, and I was like, "Oh, Quay, yeah, we talked all the time. Like when I was busy walking out from the forge, she'd be on the dock, and we just like spend time talking."
At which point, we then go back to a conversation between, I think we're horrible people, Davina. But anyways,
why the sudden interest?
because, look, I just,
No,
I-
you don't feel bad. You haven't felt bad up to this point about it.
okay,
You drank too much and you
first of all,
know stuff
I
about it.
didn't say I felt bad. So who's projecting here? 'Cause
Okay.
it's not me,
No, out of game,
it's you.
didn't she say I feel bad?
I don't
That-
know.
I don't know.
I've
her?
lost track.
at
I've
the-
lost it.
At the beginning of this conversation, yes, she said, "I feel
Okay.
bad because I don't know anything about her."
Yes, so she did say it.
Listen, you're dealing with a drunk girl. She has already forgotten that.
Did you say it? No, shut up.
Yeah, that exactly. That's not what I was going to say.
Uh-huh.
I just want to get to know her better without the awkwardness of, oh, you hung around with us a lot, but I was a horrible bitch and didn't pay any attention to you because you weren't important.
I mean, to be honest, you didn't pay attention to a lot of us when we were younger.
I know I'm horrible. That's not the point.
Tenebris, completely eavesdropping to the guard walking beside him. She didn't pay attention to me either. I was kind of
That's
on my
not
own.
true.
It's just like off to
Who
one
said
side,
that?
Just fist, just like the guard just like sort of pats Tenebris on the shoulder.
That's
I
not
would gi-
true. Who said that? Anyway,
I would give anything for Ella to be like, "That's not true, Jenny." Anyway,
Like,
no, she's figured out new voice at this point.
you and I are close now, but I mean, if I wasn't like Grouper's sister, I don't think you would have really known who I was back then.
That's not true.
It's a little true.
No. Is it?
Just the impression I got.
No. Huh. No.
I think you need to rest.
I think I need to walk. She gets
Meanwhile-
up and she starts walking. Gets out of the cart and starts walking alongside it.
Meanwhile, Najka to Tenebris. "Hey, Tenebris, would you like me to touch up that whip of yours, or would you perchance like a different weapon you might be able to use?"
I mean, I'm fairly good with the web, so if there's some fancy things you can work on it, then go right ahead.
Let me see it tonight, and I'll see what I can do for it.
Tenebris will, like, make sure it's available.
All right. So,
Yep,
anything else?
we're done.
A couple days after the mushroom incident. First, we're going to have, at this point, we're going to have hit a week, so we're going to do our Bastion turn before we continue on to the next event. So none of you are there
I have
unless you have
spell.
means. There you go. Unless you have means with which to communicate back to the Bastion.
I can send up to 25 words. There are 12 Bastion helpers, and each Bastion order can be described in one word.
Mhm.
So I can 24 words. 24 words can
Before we
relay.
get to that mechanical aspect, how does Tenebrous reveal his magic to the others? Because up to now, Tenebrous has been trying real hard not to do magic in front of anybody.
Tenebrous will just casually ask during the day, like, if they could, what would they be having their Bastion do?
And then
That's
have
a
a met-
really weird
do you have a
question. I
method of
want to
getting-
insight check that.
I mean, Notchka would have straight out asked, "Do you have a method of getting word back to them?"
Kind of gives you a shrug.
Give me an
I've-
insight check, Elvira.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm a fucking rogue. Investigator rogue. I'm not straight out asking.
look at it, you hear and go,
13 because yeah, that tracks.
What is your passive deception, Tenebrous? So 10 plus your
So
deception score.
10, 12.
Passive deception of 12. So yeah. Tenebrous, to Cooper and Elvira, Tenebrous is very clearly trying to offer a service without offering the source of the service.
You know what? I should be fair. I should roll that at disadvantage.
This would be a couple days. You wouldn't necessarily be drunk at this point, unless you are just staying
You
drunk
wanna
for a week
bet?
total. For a week.
Do you
Oh,
think
no.
after that conversation she's going to be drinking less?
Fair? Go ahead. Wait, no. Your deception's,
Okay, still a 13. It still got it.
Your deception's a 4. That would be a 14.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
I was
Okay.
thinking 8. I was thinking because passive perception's like 8 plus proficiency plus.
no, it's 10 plus whatever your
It's
skill
10.
is.
You're thinking proficiency in general
Yeah.
is 8 plus your
Yeah, that's for
your
spellcasting.
ability
That's for
plus
spellcasting
proficiency
DCs.
bonus.
That's for
Yeah.
spellcasting DCs or DCs for like skills and thing for DCs for like special abilities. But passive whatever is just if you rolled a 10, which is the average on D20, what would you get?
Correct.
So 14, which means that Elvira doesn't.
You just beat it.
You're not sure why he's being cagey, but I will say it's pretty obvious he's being cagey.
Yeah.
Tenebrous is always pretty obviously cagey.
That is notable. A notable thing, yes.
No cagier than normal though.
Why?
And
And I'm an inherently a suspicious person anyways.
I just been thinking, we've been gone about a week and it's just been on my mind. Like, it'd be good to be able to like tell my workshop to be able to work on what to work on and.
Okay. Well,
Tenebrous
You know
doesn't
what?
use a shield or anything, does he?
No.
Okay, cool.
You know what? That's a thing that you could potentially do because apparently I don't know anybody. So sure, why not?
I sort of
What
like
do you
a
mean
sideways
you don't know
look.
anyone?
I don't know, but if I was, I would, and she is. I'm not gonna go fully in care, but she is going to angrily say research and research and I don't remember what the other options are beyond what your ability is. Like what
Let me
the
pull it up.
Yes, please do, because I went to go look in the thing and it's not there.
Notchka will just say to have them keep crafting because they've already got a project they're working
While this is while Hell is doing this, Grouper is just in
Shawnee,
the
did you
background, kind of like
unshare your bastion, your stuff?
No, I didn't do anything
'Cause
to it.
I had the campaign that I had things in was coming from your.
No, my campaign's still going.
Let's see. Let
check-
me see
let
if
me
I've got
check my,
access to the DMG.
let me check my campaigns.
DMG 2024. I've still got access to it.
Yeah, I still have access to the Bastion stuff.
I don't. Oh wait, I bet my character got. That's it. My character got deactivated because my subscription went away. Hang on.
It's not Bastion events. It's
Yeah, content sharing is enabled on the Exandria campaign.
Yeah, no, I just have to reactivate the character as a thing.
Anyway, Cineverse is gonna go back to like, what do you mean you don't know anyone? I thought you knew.
well, we're
knew us
not
pretty
talking
well.
about that now.
while Ella is doing this, Grouper is just in the background doing like the Winona Ryder confused reaction, like what? Just looking around at the others, like trying to figure out if they know where this is coming from.
Now, on top of asking the others what they'd have be having their Bastion people do, Cineverse also is commenting to the others like, do you feel like Ella doesn't know people? Like,
Would you-
Yeah, no, it would be research and harvest because
out of game
it's not
question.
maintained.
Would you be all right if your whip was two-handed?
that should be fine.
Cool.
Most
Just checking and making sure.
what magic what craft are you?
For witchcraft?
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah.
I'm a green witch.
Yeah, I know most witch things are like one-handed stuff, but I don't know that the green witch cares.
I'm
I don't.
just confirming if I make your whip deal more damage by making it two-handed, would it get in the way of your casting or anything?
I'd have to cast first.
It's fair, but still.
That's the big sticking point.
Yeah, long story short, research maintain. Or research harvest.
This is interspersed with
Specifically
and the results of your,
specifically harvesting. You know what? She's in a shit mood. Poisons.
the results of your previous research will be available the next time you're back at your bastion as well. So
it's interspersed with interviews with people back on the island. Somebody's like, one time Elefira punched me in the face.
It was
awesome.
So the witch class gives me proficiency with whips. So as long as a two-handed whip still counts as a whip.
yeah.
It's just a matter of whether it gets in the way of spell casting for you or not. But if you could just like put it down for a second and cast a spell, it like it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, the whip wouldn't count as the whip doesn't count as a spell casting focus for you, but
if you're holding it, as long as you're not actively doing it, you could let go of it with one hand
Yeah.
for a round, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Grouper having succeeded on the insight, but feeling like he's bothered Tenebris enough over the past few days, is like, well, okay. I mean, that's kind of a that was weird. Just under his breath, kind of glancing at Ella. But just kind of thinking about things. I guess hypothetically, if I can get messages back,
Yeah, I can't get
I'd
into I
probably-
can't get into the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Huh. I mean, if you had deactivate,
I just
might
reactivated the character. And
it might be a matter of cache. Of your browser cache.
oh, yeah.
Still recognize the cookie, not
Yeah,
recognize.
yeah.
You know what I mean.
everything related to Wizards of the Coast is related to cash these days. Am I right?
Especially D&D Beyond.
You're not wrong.
But Gruber says, I mean, hypothetically, purely hypothetically, I guess, I'd probably just tell, Quay that she's doing a great job and just kind of keep it up, just keep fishing. And, if she has a chance, just take what she's got, take it over to old Alki and, tell him to, and sell any of the excess and everything that she brings in.
Was that
So-
what she does there?
What's that?
Is that what she's doing for
Well,
a job there?
Oh yeah, she's fishing. She's doing a great job.
Right. Okay.
You remember Quail? She used to come with us sometimes when we go out on dates.
Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry. I'm
Fortunately, 5e
I'm out of stuff. Clearly not a bottlehead is not out.
5e.tools has all the information I need. So,
And again,
there
we
you go.
flash back to like multiple times that like Grouper and Ella sitting on one side of a table, just like actively making
Yep.
out, and Quay just on the other side, like picking at a salad, like awkwardly not making eye contact with them.
100%.
all right. So you've got research and what was the other one that you had?
Research and harvest.
Harvest. Okay.
Correct.
Harvest poisons.
Yep, harvesting and researching. Grouper is continuing to harvest, and you're going to be selling now, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Your
I want
storehouse.
Alki to sell off everything that he got, plus all of the stuff that she harvested last time.
My smiths are continuing to build, and my barracks is continuing to recruit.
Okay. Still recruiting, still building. Tenebrous,
Craft and recruit.
still crafting. Yeah, because they're still crafting the
Yeah.
leather. Davina,
Craft and recruit.
Uh, harvesting herb garden
and researching.
and research. Yep.
What are your for the two libraries? What are you setting them to research this time?
Same thing that I was on before, because I don't believe that was done.
What were you
So the
researching
results of
before?
that research is available now. It's just that you have to be back in the Bastion to get it.
Okay.
So you could have him continue researching that for more information. Because he basically found like they find like one bit of information per research. You were researching. I think you were both researching the torchbearers.
In different ways, yes.
But one of you was specifically researching Silas Reshin.
I think I was researching Silas, and you were researching the torchbearers in general,
Okay.
or vice versa. Either way.
Then I would like to change that to researching Cyan.
3 pieces of accurate information, so they would just be able to get 3 more functionally.
Right.
Oh no, Davina, you were doing psionics. You're doing legends and myths about psionics.
Okay. See,
that's
That's
what it was.
correct.
Okay, that's what I was about to switch it to, because I was thinking, why was I
Yeah.
not doing psionics? Okay.
Elefira was doing just torchbearers, and Davina was just doing just psionics.
That sounds accurate.
Okay.
No, I have an idea. I have an idea what she might do, but she would not pass this information on through.
Okay, so then your library is maintaining.
No, I
worried.
think she is going to. She's researching something different. Give me just a second.
Okay.
Thing.
Mhm. Jack, are you still there?
Give me a bit.
Okay.
Think that.
All right. I also have the write-up of what happens to your whip when I hand it back to you, Tenebrous.
Cool.
As soon as I can actually get it to copy. There we go. And paste into chat.
I think she is just going to ask Tenebrous to tell her researcher to keep going on what they've been working on. Because anything else she can think of to have research done, she doesn't want to have passed through Tenebrous.
Fair.
The first one was to research everything you can about my friends.
Wow.
Listen, somebody is dealing with major insecurities about whether they're a horrible person or
I
not
am
now.
so sorry.
No, I'm
That
so
is-
on board with this.
Okay.
Oh no, I have a terrible idea because
Oh.
I can tell them to do anything.
Oh my god.
Alifira's
I will say,
Instead
for,
of
I will
being
say, for
told-
purpose of the mechanics, let's not sabotage people's bastion orders. Just
okay,
as a
fair.
general,
That
as a
is
general
fair.
rule, because it's a mechanical
In general,
thing.
in character, I'm 100% fine with it. But in terms of balance like that, I get it.
Yeah.
I also think it's hilarious and would be fine with it if you.
Yeah, but
I don't know what you do to my Fisher garden, but still. Salt the earth.
Like, it would just mean we need to get a lot more people with sending.
God, it is. It is also the funny. I mean, talk about like guys will do anything other than go to therapy. Cobalt Soul will research all of their friends rather than go to therapy. It's the most Cobalt Soul thing ever.
Listen,
if Jeremy,
Am I a terrible
it's not even
person?
if
Let
Jeremy
me launch
is,
a
if Jeremy
covert
is fine with you
investigation on all
sabotaging
my friends
the
to
best,
find
the Bastion
out.
action, if Jeremy is fine with you sabotaging the Bastion action, that's fine. I just want to say, as a general rule, let's not assume that's okay.
Yeah.
Because
I
it is a
am
mechanical
okay
thing
with
that you're,
it,
that you're.
but I'm 100. You know me. I literally told Holly for another. I don't remember if it was this campaign or another one. Oh no, this was for the previous Wednesday one.
It's for the- yeah.
Please manipulate my mind if you feel like it's appropriate.
Yep.
So,
Turn me into your puppet. Do whatever you
Yes.
want. Yeah.
But what did you say in game?
Step on the mommy, I think.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
but yes, if you want to do something, feel free with me.
I think particularly because
And
otherwise
ditto.
it's just to continue the research. It's just to continue it. And if you could do it yourself anyways, it'd be something different. I feel like it's not bad to do that.
No, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
You have my permission at any point. Mine specifically, but at any point during the game, if I am relying on you for sendings for my bastion turns, do what you want.
So Jeremy's librarian's being told to research Quay.
Sounds good.
I approve.
All right, Holly, what were you getting your researcher to do?
Fantastic.
See if they can find anything out about Silas.
Okay, Silas.
Silos, not Silas.
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong.
That's all right. And Jack, yours was the armory.
Ilo's Broyerwood.
Do we need a refresher on what the armory was doing before?
Previously, it was trading up to stock itself with arms and armor. It has currently finished that. So the only thing it can do is maintain.
Okay.
And then the
And then the other one should just continue doing commerce.
the warehouse can now start selling the things that it was previously stockpiling.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So sending, yes, it only takes one word to issue an order to your bastion. However, because you're doing it through sending, you will have to have one word to designate who the order is going to, and another word to designate any clarifications for things like research that. So
It'll probably take 2 sendings.
So it'll
Yeah,
take,
so for most of them that are simple,
yeah,
like,
most of them that are simple, 2
person-
words,
yeah,
and then for
and
the
then-
research topics, it'll be probably 3 words.
research. And then I'm going to use a third sending to Quay to relay Grouper's message. Except I'm going to spruce
Oh,
it up a
God.
bit.
Oh God.
All right. In what way?
Jesus.
The true villain of the campaign.
Yeah, no fuck. Jesus Christ.
Tenebris. Down the line, it's gonna be like one of those scenes from like an alternate world, like Marvel post-apocalyptic thing, where you see all the heroes like laid out in a tableau, dead one place or another, and
I am terrified and excited.
To make it like rephrasing stuff to make it seem like Grouper's even more like you're doing a good job, you're doing amazing. Like Grouper's talking it up, maybe that he's a little bit interested.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Advantage
Davina would be so proud of you.
24.
It's a really good job. All right. Messages have been sent off. We do have
after that.
we do have one maintained, so we need to make that. We need to resolve that first.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens with the maintenance. All right.
I'm so fucking proud of you out of character.
uh-huh.
It's amazing. It's terrible, but amazing.
Okay. So I need to roll. I roll on the main.
I mean, look, if Tenebris wants to doom this poor girl to her death, that is Tenebris's choice.
I rolled all as well, so nothing happens.
Hooray!
All right.
So after everything in the morning, Najka will approach Tenebris to hand over the upgraded whip.
Tenebris.
What does
It
look
feels
like now?
really heavy at first.
Yeah, so yeah, as Najka walks over with the whip sort of like coiled around itself, and as she sort of holds it out and she lets the coil drop, and you can see the handle's been extended into a two-handed handle, and it's got like this heavy like balancing weight on the end of the pommel. The cord of the whip has been thickened significantly, and there's also this sort of like added work around the top of the pommel, almost creating like a cross guard on a whip so that it can help defend itself against people coming at you in melee. And then at the end of the whip, there are these sort of like hooked barbs almost, so that it can dig into targets to help trip them up when it is used to swing.
And you hand it to Tenebris, and at first he kind of like almost drops it. It's like this thing feels like it weighs almost as much as I do now, and like starts moving it around, and it's like
I had to put in. I wanted to make it stand up to foes a bit more, and I put a bit of a counterbalance on it. So it's a little heavy, but you should feel it when you start swinging it. It should balance itself out.
Tenebris. Not quite full swings it, but like wiggles it along the ground a little bit, and like slowly builds up and gives it a good crack.
It's a significantly louder crack than it was previously. It's slightly awkward to wield a whip with two hands. They're not meant to be wielded with two hands, but it's familiar enough that you can get the hang of it.
And yeah, those hooks at the end will help you dig in and trip up your opponents. Should be able to try and knock people on their ass from a distance.
Cool.
All right.
Hopefully that works out well.
So, after you're on the road for a bit longer, getting towards the afternoon, this day has been sunny, bright, cloudless, almost clear of rain. Lots of great view. Some of the other guards call out that they spotted a herd of deer. One of them saying, "If anyone's up for venison, we can restock our supplies." Indicating towards this herd of there's a large herd of deer up on a hill visible nearby. And everyone can give me perception checks.
Okay.
Nope.
Perception.
How does a 29 strike you?
Strikes me as if you rolled 19. Jack, are you feeling up to rolling?
We'll listen for a bit.
So with a 21 and a natural 20 from Davina and a 29 from Grouper, a 5 and 8 from Elefira, the three of you notice something glinting, like this, like the sunlight is reflecting mightily off of something golden amidst the herd. And as you notice that, you see sort of rearing its head back up amidst this herd of deer is a stag with a fully golden coat and antlers.
What does that... Does that-
Oops. Sorry, she didn't see it, so unless someone pointed it out to her, she won't notice it.
Does that mean anything to me off the jump?
You can give me you can give me a religion check or a nature check.
Oh,
This will give you different
I would
information.
like to do nature, please. $21.
With 21, that's definitely not a natural stag. It's definitely a magical stag of some kind. Beyond that would require a religion roll.
Okay.
Can I do a religion roll on that?
Sure.
Can I also make a separate one?
Yeah.
Okay.
23.
Dangerous feels like killing a special animal like that is probably a bad omen.
Yeah,
Probably yes.
I will communicate that to the others and just at least point out what we've seen.
Yeah, if it's pointed out to her, can Notch make a religion roll as well?
Sure.
Yeah, I will also. Give me just a second.
I don't know why they didn't roll. Hold on.
Shit on my outside stuff. All right.
Yeah, I don't know, which would make Grouper more inclined to say, like, hey, this is weird. Does this mean anything?
Yep, that tracks. But 6.
All right. One second. Find the right name. Okay. So Davina, you're the only one. Kind of makes sense given that you're from Selkie folk. A golden stag is often referred to or referenced in tales, in myths and legends regarding the Wild Mother. Not that the stag doesn't represent her, but the stag is the golden stag is a symbol of her blessing, is a symbol of her. Basically, it's sort of like if you see the golden stag, then the Wild Mother has seen you. Sort of is the way the stories often go, and it is sort of often treated in the same vein as like a leprechaun might be, where if you follow the stag, it leads you to good fortune or treasure. As all of you sort of like take a moment to look at it, and it sees that it has been seen by the group of you, it very pointedly turns and bounds off beyond the hill that it's on.
Should we follow?
Yeah.
Does Davina share any of that religious information she gathered?
Well, she's watching it go right now, like she's contemplating something. But yes, she will share the information via head.
Clarify. Telepathy?
Yes.
Cool.
I couldn't think of the word for it.
Sharing information via head is certainly a way you could do it, but I don't know that it's appropriate for the situation.
I mean, like, listen, party
sorry.
bonding exercises.
My mind blank.
I need to tell.
Okay.
Look, you close that door. But yeah, so Grouper does say, should we follow?
No, maybe.
The myth is it brings good luck if you follow.
I mean, we could use a bit of that, but I don't know how much time we've got to really follow it when the caravan's got to keep moving.
I was gonna say we keep.
I mean, you could ask the caravan to halt for a minute while you go investigate. You are the guards.
Yeah, I mean,
and you saved them from a bunch of spiders previously.
Yeah, I mean,
Look, that's on y'all. I'm a passenger.
She'll look over at the caravan leader. Do you mind if we follow that for a minute?
As long as you're not gone too long, yeah.
I'm
We'll be
going
right back.
to
We'll be
try
right
to
back.
turn into a stag.
Yeah, you turn to a stag.
Okay, I'll bound off after it. But does anybody want to get on?
Nachko just walk.
Okay, I'll turn into a stag. If nobody wants to ride the stag, off I go.
Davina's gonna use hustle.
I see Jeremy having a
I'm
private
trying
moment.
not to make jokes.
Probably didn't choose that phrasing on purpose.
No, come on.
Hustle from what?
What?
Hustle from what? Oh, that's your
No, to
courier.
move towards.
That's your courier ability, right?
Yeah.
What does it do?
It increases my speed by an additional 30 feet.
Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, so you all take off after the stag. Go ahead and give me survival checks, everyone.
Jennifer
see.
stays with the cart.
Teneris does not.
Funny
All right.
enough, if Grouper actually offers, I think because she definitely wants to chase the stag, but she is also not necessarily in the most run on my own standpoint. She's probably going to say yes.
Does Grouper
well,
let
then
Elefthera
that's the-
ride?
Then that's the reason I got a 4 on that roll, because Grouper is suddenly a little distracted. As the stag just sort of freezes, not expecting that response, and then kind of stands there awkwardly while Ella mounts up, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Right, we got a
It's fine. You're
we got a
a
10.
steed.
A 10 from Najka, a 4 from Grouper.
Do you say that?
I don't. Yes.
Yeah, it takes
you
Grouper
looked
a while to get
uncomfortable.
going.
And she's trying to make you not uncomfortable.
That didn't work.
Didn't
No,
work.
it didn't.
So I will check from Elefthera
Survival? Okay.
Yeah. to follow the stag.
I know that wasn't great. I'm still gonna roll it at disadvantage.
Fair.
See if it's any worse. Yeah, it's a little worse.
I mean, again, as usual, that tracks.
I think at this point, not because Davina moves real quick when she dashes. I think at this point, Nachka is just following Davina, who seems like she knows where she's going.
Yeah. So yeah, Davina, you take off. You're able to keep track of it. Everyone else has a little bit of trouble following you, because they've lost sight of the stag, but you haven't.
And so they're just following you.
And
I've
so
lost sight of a lot of things.
you sort of lose, all of you kind of lose sight of Davina at a certain point, as you're trying to follow the stag. Davina, you find you sort of chasing after the stag, stumble through a bit of forested area and find yourself in a slight clearing in a grove of trees. In this clearing is the ruins of what seems like an old temple to the Wild Mother that has just fallen into disrepair. The roof's gone, some of the walls are gone. But in the middle of this overgrown ruin, there is an altar with a still intact idol icon of the Wild Mother. The golden stag is there, just staring right at you as you break through the tree line. Only you. And it turns to look at the idol, turns back to look at you, and then bounds, just leaps over a wall and disappears.
Davina will walk towards the idol.
Uh, the idol is a decorative wreath that is attached to a shepherd's crook. And as you get closer, it's an actual wreath. And it's, even though it's been theoretically removed from, it has been removed from its roots for quite some time, it does not seem to be dead. The wreath is still alive, and as if it's been just being nourished by something. It's sort of attached to the altar, so it's not like you could take it. But as you get closer, you do notice that there is a chest behind the altar.
Yeah, she'll go over to the chest.
It does not seem to be locked.
She will open it.
Inside, you see a bow. It's a sort of a dark mahogany wood that has been very finely crafted, with a smooth finish and a series of red gemstones embedded up and down the length of the bow. It does not seem to have a string or anything. And one second, hang on. Okay. So yeah, it's this very smooth bow and a quiver, sort of in the chest with it.
Okay. She will reach up and take it.
You take them. You can feel the magic in these items. It's about this point that you hear the rest of your party crashing through the undergrowth, as an elk with Elafira. Just give me an acrobatics check to see how well you balance on the back of this elk that has no saddle.
Okay.
Should Elafira have advantage?
Oh no, 100% she has disadvantage. You are uncomfortable and she is drunk.
I'm just wondering if you should have proficiency.
14.
14, yeah.
Because even if she is like complete, this is one of her best two best rolls.
Yeah, you're a bit ungainly, but you're on.
Yeah.
Is Elafira looking for the life of her like she is very slightly afraid that she's going to fall off the stag that she's riding on. And Tenebris, or not Tenebris, Najka and Najka crashing through behind them as well. And yeah, the group, you see Davina holding a bow, and a very well-made bow, and a very well-made quiver.
I think it's less being scared about falling off and more about being preoccupied with the number of points on the stag and trying to figure out how accurate that is to what she remembers.
It's like the scene from Shape of Water.
When Davina sees the others, she will just hold up the bow and quiver.
Huh.
The stag went that way. But there was a chest with this.
I dismount.
Turn back into grouper. That's wow.
You can also see that this is
Hmm.
obviously an old ruin to a temple for the Wild Mother.
How handy are you with a bow?
Who are you asking?
Davina, the person who found it.
Yeah. Yeah, she says, I use a crossbow. I don't know how different this would be. I haven't tried one before.
Mechanically, is the mystic proficient with a bow? With this particular type of bow?
Do not know.
I mean, look at your proficiencies.
Are you
Did you
proficient
say
with
it's a
martial
short
weapons?
bow
my
or a long
proficiency.
bow?
It's a longbow.
Long
So,
bow, okay.
Marshall, are you proficient with martial weapons?
I doubt it.
I don't think I am.
No, mystics are proficient with. Well, wait, you're an immortal. Oh wait, no, you're awakened. You're awakened, not immortal.
Yeah, I'm awakened.
No, you're proficient with simple weapons.
Be proficient with this longbow then.
While this is going on, Grouper will go over to the temple and just sort of sit down and say a quiet thanks to the Wild Mother.
You feel a bit of a warmth as you sit down as you pray to the altar, pray to the icon, and just like the smell of autumn leaves.
I will go around while everybody else is doing whatever they're doing. Throughout the rest of the scene, Grouper will just say to himself and use Druid craft to make the flowers around the shrine bloom.
I mean, if you want, I can teach you to use it, but it'll take a bit.
I think I'd like to learn. If you're willing to teach.
Yeah.
Unless you want it, she says.
I make guns. I could use the bow. I've had training in it. The Lord knows Lady of Exandria wouldn't let me not. But it's not really my thing. So if you want to use it, I can teach you how.
I can also help teach.
Just
Or do rogues get longbow proficiency? That's nice.
Oh wait,
stairs-
longbow. Never mind. I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
Yep, ignore me.
Oh,
For
she
some
was
reason, I
going
thought
to.
they did.
She
I mean,
was
that
going
is also
anyway.
fair.
No, she was going to look at you and say thanks, Noshka.
In Ella's current state, she might be like, I could totally help you use that. Seriously.
Bow's a bow. It's all the same.
Yes, and again,
I
they both do feel like as you're holding both the quiver and the bow, they both feel inherently magical.
Yeah, I would definitely like to learn. Thank you, Noshka.
It'll be a several weeks long training, so you won't be pulling that thing into combat anytime soon, but I can show you how.
I have patience.
I mean, you can use it before
Clearly,
You've
she
learned the
deals with all
proficiency.
of us.
you just won't be good with it.
That's the
That was in
Stare- yeah.
character.
stare
That
at Ella.
was 100% in character.
Yeah, just stare at Ella. Take bow, start to walk back.
All right.
What's the math for how long training with a proficiency takes?
I'll have to look it up again. Hang on. Sorry, I'm putting together the items. Do you ask anybody to identify them, or while you're on the way back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone who doesn't have the identify spell but would like to identify them can make a religion check.
Sure. Since I was so good with that before.
You hit level 9, and then I can identify everything always.
Yeah, I can just tell if they're magic, but I don't think we need to do that. But I did get a 19 on my religion check this time.
12.
Okay. With a 19, Grouper, it sort of comes to you as you're looking at it, just like thinking about the prayers you've been making to the Wild Mother. The quiver is what is the Wild Mother's quiver. It is mechanically it is a quiver of Ilana, just flavor shifted to the Wild Mother, which is a it's an uncommon wondrous item. Each of this quiver's 3 compartments connects to an extra dimensional space that allows the quiver to hold numerous items while never weighing more than 2 pounds. The shortest compartment can hold up to 60 arrows, bolts, or similar objects. The mid-sized compartment holds up to 18 javelins or similar objects. The longest compartment holds up to 6 long objects such as bows, quarterstaffs, or spears, or long swords, or anything like that.
You can stow the bow
You can
in
draw.
the quiver.
Yes, you can stow the bow in the quiver. You can draw any item for the quiver that the quiver contains, as if doing so from a regular quiver or scabbard. And the bow is the skirmisher's bow. It is a rare longbow in this case. This dark bow has a series of smooth red gemstones running down its length. A magic bowstring of pure energy forms between the top and bottommost gems while held, allowing the otherwise unstrung weapon to be used as a magic bow. In this case, when held with purpose, because just holding it like it is right now, it's just a stick. Even while unstrung, the weapon remains slightly curved. Before or after making an attack with the weapon, you can speak its command word to cause the bowstring to fade and create a blade of energy that extends from the front of the bow. While the blade persists, the bow is considered to be a two-handed melee weapon with the finesse property. If you are proficient with short swords or long swords, you are proficient with this weapon. Its damage die is a d8, and it deals radiant damage on a hit. The blade persists until you speak the weapon's command word again to reform the bowstring, allowing it to be used as a ranged weapon once more, or until you are no longer holding the weapon. A target hit with this weapon, regardless of its form, takes an extra 1d6 radiant damage from the attack. So it's a longbow normally, but it can shift to like a blade staff.
That's cool.
Specifically a lightsaber staff because it does radiant damage. And it's just a blade of energy.
But yeah, and those will be in your journal momentarily, Holly.
Okay.
And yes, proficiency with a longbow will be required for the skirmisher's bow. There you go. Yes, you return to the Grouper can tell you what they are, and you return to the caravan, having followed the golden stag and been led to some treasure. All right, for the next section of the journey, as you all return. Who rolled the D100 last time? It's been Jeremy, Trevian, Jack? It was Jack, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Jack last time.
Yeah.
So who other than those 3 would like to roll the next D100?
I guess I can do it. 18.
Christ.
Only rolling on the extremes.
Yeah, except for Jeremy.
I rolled dead center.
Which is kind of another extreme.
Extremely
medium.
So yeah, your first week having been finished, sort of being topped off with the discovery of an old ruin to the Wild Mother. The beginning of your next week is relatively calm and clear. For the next few days, there is no real events of note on the horizon. No problems with any of your campsites or any of the like. Is there any conversations that are to be had at the beginning of your second week of travel?
How has Ella been doing since the conversation? with-
Quiet and withdrawn.
Is she still drinking?
What do you think?
Okay.
I
I
was,
don't
gonna,
suppose
I was
there's a
gonna
way
say
to
I was
hide
gonna
the
say
alcohol.
Elefira is probably like run out of alcohol at this point, but then I realized most of Elefira's rations are probably just alcohol.
Uh-huh.
She's on a liquid diet.
Like, she's not literally drunk all the time, but she's not drunk a decent amount of the time. Like, I think she keeps a very, very strong buzz on a regular basis, and she seems very skilled at maintaining that buzz, which is a talent. And occasionally, probably at night, if she does not have first watch. Actually, she doesn't have watches. What am I talking about? At night, she lets herself get fully drunk. But through most of the day, she is typically just outside of that first day, very buzzed. In the I don't want to feel way.
Rupert would like to have a conversation with Davina.
Real quick, just for DM's of information, if so desired. The Xanathar's training weeks count is primarily for tools and skills. The 2024 DMG does give a recommendation on learning new proficiencies as a reward of training, which is about a month.
We'll look at that, but we'll go with that. So 4 weeks. Grouper and Davina?
I think sometime when they're stopped for the day, maybe Grouper and Davina can take a watch together one night.
Good with that.
Would Davina, if they're taking a watch together, would Davina establish a psychic link?
Oh, yeah, yeah. of course.
Okay. So pretty soon after the whole thing, Grouper will go, so we tracked down a divine stag, a sign from the Wild Mother. That's pretty. Elefira rode on me. I need help dealing with that.
Sorry, the laughing's out of character. So yeah, Davina will just stare at him. And respond.
I made an open offer. I didn't think she was
Um,
going to say yes. I don't know what to do with this.
And how did you feel about that?
Weird. It brought back a lot of things.
Okay.
I mean, you know, she's never ridden around on my back before, but still,
Poor Davina.
She's just like being a kid all over again. She thinks in her head. She's like, okay, maybe you should talk to Ella about this one thing.
What do you think she meant by it?
She was drunk and couldn't walk, and
I mean, she's known what she's doing when she's been drunk before.
she might might not be in the best place right now. It's fine. Anyway,
Has she thought anything to you about it?
like in what
I-
context?
I mean, if you don't, I don't want to pry. Obviously, if you all are, I just. Do you think it means she wants the deer?
Greg, you're trying to murder me.
Trying, he's succeeding. Do you think it means she wants the deer?
Jesus Christ.
Do you want me to ask her?
No. Yes. I don't know.
I think there's a lot of complicated feelings between
No,
the two of
yes,
you
I don't
guys,
know. Sounds like my first
and
time.
I'm not a licensed therapist.
No. I listen. I don't want to put you in the middle.
I'm
definitely
already there. It's
no,
okay.
but no, definitely don't ask. I'm
I've been there a while.
I'm a big fish, says the 4-foot tall fish standing next to you. No, you don't have to ask. I just
Okay, my personal opinion is I think she is still interested in you, but she is dealing with stuff, and she also, this is just my opinion and my thoughts, and she feels like you are not handling yourself the best out here in the decisions that you are making.
I mean, that's true. I don't know if you've known. I have been working with Najka. I'm trying to be better. I really am.
I appreciate that.
I
think that's great.
It's my first time doing this. He just sort of gestures to the world.
You said I think that's great in the same like tone of voice that a high school student would say when an old man comes up to her and starts talking about his model collection. That's
Yeah.
great.
Great.
Yeah.
That's great.
I don't. She's not. I don't think she's doing well. It's not, fun drinking, and it doesn't seem fair to talk to her about whatever the whole
Part of it might be
deer situation was.
my fault. I'll need to talk to her.
Why
at
is it
some
your
point.
fault?
So, I may have said something to her that implied that, back when we were kids, she never really got to know anyone outside of you.
Well, inside of me, it was too dark to meet people.
Holy shit, Greg. What the fuck?
Credit to Mark Twain for that one.
But when he says that, Davina will fall off whatever she is sitting on.
Oh my god! He reaches down with a hand, like clearly grinning. Okay, sorry, that wasn't fair.
That is way too much information.
No, I just that was a joke.
Okay, but yeah, so I mean, okay, I just feel like growing up, I was always kind of like your sister to her, and I kind of like let that be known.
Well, sure, and she knew. Well, oh my god, she didn't know anyone.
It was kind of like you knew everyone, and then she was with
Right.
you, and then like, yeah, I knew her because she got to know me on a, yeah, you're like Grouper's sister type level.
Well, she
Sorry.
often had me talk to people, but I just figured that's because she knew I liked talking to people.
You know what? I think, and this might be a bad choice, but maybe you and I should speak with her together. Because I can be a buffer between the two
We
of you
should both
guys,
pull from
and-
the deck of many things at the same time.
I don't.
Maybe,
Oh my god!
maybe. Sorry, here's a better idea.
I
We
have
could
been
maybe, like,
My PC has been referred to as a cosmic artifact of ruin. I can quit Dungeons and Dragons.
You
I
win!
I have won the game.
You win Dungeons and Dragons, and it was advanced.
maybe we could get somebody else, like maybe like Nashka, to also like assist us with this, because
My
that might
God.
be a-
I
Gonna be a
feel.
full
Group
fucking
intervention.
intervention.
Listen, Vina, I love that you want to help. And one, I don't feel like it's fair for you to be forced into the middle.
This is where I've lived
I
since I was
know,
like 10.
I know.
Okay?
I also don't think it's fair to put Nashka also in the middle, and I additionally think that if Ella sees all three of us coming at her at the same time, she will run away.
You're probably right.
Now, if
I
you
think,
wait until she's real
okay,
drunk, because
so-
then she'll trip and fall and not be able to get away.
Do not underestimate the ability of a rogue to hide from y'all.
While drunk.
Drunk or not, doesn't matter. So it is once again my opinion. I think she still has feelings for you, like no matter what she says. And I don't know. I'm in the middle of this. I'm way too deep right now. But I just want you guys to be happy.
I that's what I keep coming back to. I feel like on one hand, if she did have feelings but she broke things off, that would be complicated, and she wouldn't have just climbed onto my back. So that it made me feel things, but I also think if she felt anything, she wouldn't have done that. But on the other hand, she's very, very drunk.
She's also very jealous right now.
Of what?
Oh, you and Quay.
But just out loud, he goes, "What?"
Holy shit!
It's all coming out.
And this is like
Y'all,
completely
best episode ever.
it'd be completely quiet, and if anybody is nearby, the first thing you hear is just, "What?"
Okay. I love you. I love you so much.
She doesn't even want to fish.
You are so dense. Quay has had a crush on you since you were much younger.
Oh, she would, because we always, and she would come along. Oh God, back over the mental link. Oh no, and then we ask her to, you, and he just points. You told me to ask. You knew.
I did.
Why?
Because I wanted you to be happy one way or another. And also part of me wanted to see how Ella would react to it. And I know it's not fair to play with people's feelings like that. But I care about you, and I will literally let the world burn for you to be happy. So
you're setting me up with both of them?
Girls will literally let the world burn before they go to therapy.
Yes.
Vina, she's going to kill Quay.
I'm okay.
We talked about the
confronted her.
stabbing.
No, I've confronted her, but I don't think she will. And she knows that I know it's her if she does.
She has a
so
poison garden now.
she's not going to, but she wanted to know more information about Quay, and I know that part of this.
What
Well,
is
that
sort of
doesn't sound
information?
great.
I have to talk to Tenny right now and ask him to send a message to tell Quay not to eat anything that she hasn't prepared herself.
But it's gonna.
Davina, you were doing so well up to a certain point,
And
too.
everything just fell apart.
Okay. Davina's going to get up. Is there a water source near her?
There's a barrel
No,
of water. Of...
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Okay, well, like a barrel, a bucket, a cup, anything that she can.
Oh
drink.
yeah, there's
Sure.
always a water
Sure.
source near.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say
Okay.
there are how
So-
many water-based characters here? There is always water nearby.
Grouper's probably
So-
sitting in a bucket
There's-
right now.
Davina
There,
just.
there's a water source. You just go start doing chest compressions on Cinnabrus.
Tenny,
Like, we
open
could
up.
be in the
We're not
Sahara
using- I'm not
desert
using
and there
any
would be
like that.
water.
Okay, she stands up, gets like a bucket, cup, walks over to Ella.
Hey,
dumps
what's up?
it on her.
No, okay, wait, hold on. Shape water, and you like pour it down, and it goes sideways and doesn't hit Ella. No, hold on, don't. No,
Is Ella asleep or awake?
She's awake. She was like,
Good.
when you walked over, like, hey, what's up? Holding up the glass as it starts to pour and then flow away. Like, well, make a choice at least.
Good. She grabs Ella by arm
Ah,
or whatever.
whoa.
Come on. We are dealing with this now.
And
No,
by
no.
now, we mean next week.
Yeah.
Say goodbye,
I
everybody.
was trying to give you an ending. Bye.
bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.